Labas, Neringa. My name is Inga Vronsky, and I was an art teacher in the English Heritage Camp from probably about 2009 till 2018. And we did a lot of different art projects, and one of the ones that seems to have been a popular one is wood burning. So today I'm going to work on a wood burning design for you. I have a snowflake here that I've already I've got one that I've actually done, but I have another blank one that I'll show you some tips and techniques of how to do wood burning. But a couple things that you're going to need to have to do some wood burning. You're going to need to have a wood burner. This particular wood burner has a variable heat setting. You can also purchase wood burners that just have the single heat setting. Those should probably be about like $15 or so, and then the variable heat one should be about $30. And don't forget to use coupons when you're shopping. And I think Michael's, Joann's, you can even buy them on Amazon and get them delivered home, so you can work on that. Some things that you can wood burn. I'm always a big fan of the cutouts that you can find at the craft stores. You can also do some birch pieces. You want softer wood, just so that it burns easier. Some of the harder woods are not as easy, and they have a lot of grooves, and you have to kind of be careful when you wood burn those. Some examples of things that I've wood burned in the past. I've done some spoons. I've actually done larger spoons. And as long as the spoon doesn't have any kind of a finish on there, it's great to be wood burned. I've even found spoons at Christmas tree shops, so they're out there. One year I did these really large clothespins. The kids had fun decorating those. In years past, we've also done some eggs. These ones have a flat bottom, so they kind of stand. When you're actually working with something small like this, I do suggest maybe using a pot holder in your hand, so when you wood burn, you don't actually burn your skin. One year we did these little, these are little toothpick holders or little vases. And then we also did this. And the inspiration I got for the eggs, I purchased these through the years. They're actually wood burnt and then also painted. So, and I'm not sure if you can see over here, I've got a wood burnt box that I received when I got married, and it's kind of been an inspiration for me. I would love to be able to do something like that, but it requires a lot of time, energy, and patience. So we talked about the supplies, safety tips. This tip is extremely hot, so when you hold the wood burner, you want to hold it in the grip that's provided, because this will scorch your skin and you'll get a little bit of a burn. If you do, just go around into cold water. So you're going to hold it kind of like a pencil grip. When you're not using it, you definitely want to use the little tent that comes along with it, because it will keep whatever surface that you're working on protected. And I like to have something underneath the wood burning item that I'm actually working on, so that if by chance the wood burner slips, I'm not going to scorch the surface I'm working on. It's just going to hit, in this case, a paper bag. Okay, so when you purchase a wood burner, you're going to get probably 3 or 4 tips included, because these tips actually screw off so that you can actually change them. However, I warn you that you need to make sure you do that when the utensil is cold, because if you do it when it's hot, you're going to burn yourself. So the tip that I have on here is I refer to as a chisel, but the actual name of it is a universal. There's also a tip that looks like almost like a ballpoint pen, so that's called a point. And then there is a ball. Here's the ball. Kind of like I refer to it as almost like a crayon tip. So here's a ball. And then there is a shading one. It's a shading point. I like to call it a leaf, because it almost looks like a leaf print. So you can use all those different tips. I'm just going to focus on using the universal or chisel tip in this session. We're going to work on shading, lines, triangles, and dots. And to get started, so we start with our snowflake, and you can use the 2 sides for shading and to make little triangle prints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just putting the chisel tip like so and making a triangle. I'm sure if you can see that, but I'm going to make a couple of those. And you want to make sure that your tip is burning nice and hot when you're going to use it, because otherwise you'll have to leave the burner down for a long period of time, and your hand kind of starts to ache from pressing so hard. So if you just kind of use the side of the chisel to make a little triangle, you'll get the triangle effect here. It's very therapeutic too. And another great thing about wood burning is the smell of the burnt wood is an interesting smell. It always reminds me of being at camp, especially in October at Ishkill weekend. So I just worked around the inside of the snowflake. You can see I've got little triangles. So that's one of the strokes that you can do. Another one is just simply a straight line. So I'm going to take where the two points of the chisel come to a sharp point. I'm just going to use that to kind of create lines. So I'm just going to hold the wood burner down and just make some lines like so. And if you find that your line is not deep enough or far enough or dark enough, you can certainly go back and go back over it. It's not a problem. If you're using soft wood, it will make a little indentation, so it's easy to find the mark that you just made. Right, so I did a couple of these points. Whoops, I forgot this one. And sometimes mistakes happen and you burn too much, but just, work around it, create it into something that you can live with. So you can see two of the little spokes of my snowflake here are done. And then I'm going to use just the long piece in the middle just to make some lines. So that you can show you how you can do lines. Remember, this is all using the same tip. I have not changed this tip out at all. So that's why I like to use this tip, because it's you can get a lot of different effects with just this one tip. Okay, so you can see I've created some lines here too. One of the other things you can do is you can use the very tip of the point here and make some dots. So I've added dots to my snowflake at the very top, so you can see those. Okay, so we've kind of covered some shading, the triangle, the dots, the lines, and then you can actually use the whole side of the chisel tip to kind of do some shading. And if you want to, you can actually, shade in the corner of the snowflake. So you can just use that whole side to shade and darken. See how it's darkened now? I can go around and do that to all the edges. And if it's not dark enough, you can always go back and do it again. Make it a little darker. See how nice and dark that is? If you don't want to make it that dark, you don't have to. You can make it lighter. And just be creative. You actually you can do you do so many different things with the tool. So that's pretty much the different strokes that you can get out of using that tip. And if I was just to continue this all the way around and let your creative ideas flow, this is what I created the other day when I did the whole thing. It didn't take me that long, and it's fun to to do these things. You can actually make them as ornaments from on your own Christmas tree. Even on some of these cutouts, I picked up some snowmen and I actually drilled a hole through the top, and I'll put a little string here and attach it to a Christmas present so that somebody will have it and they can actually put it on their Christmas tree. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know about wood burning. It's not that difficult. It's just time and patience, and as you do more, you're going to get more creative and more ideas will come to you. Here's a snowflake I did for Neringa a couple of years ago, probably 2012. As you can see, I did a line all around, as well as the triangle and some dots. I drilled a little hole, put some string on it. It's a nice little ornament. So I just want to also show you this box. This is an inspiration to me. It's something that's very detailed. I would love to be able to do something like this. Just to let you know, you don't have to stick to the small little cutout pieces that I'm showing you. If you want to venture off and do something much larger, there's certainly lots of wood items out there to burn. So good luck, and I'd love to see any projects that you do. Post them, and so we can all take a look at them. Vicky?